Okay, for the chicken part of our mole enchiladas, I have 2.5 pounds of chicken thighs in here. We are going to put in 1/2 of an onion. We're going to put in 1/4 of a teaspoon of pepper. We're going to put in 2 medium garlics, a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of chicken bouillon. And we're going to bring this up to a boil and let it cook for about an hour. I just turn it down and cover it. And after it's cooked, I'll be right back. Okay, we're going to start roasting the spices for the mole sauce. I have 3 garlics here with the skin on. We're going to put those in first and just let them roast. It just takes a few minutes. And here I have a 1/4 teaspoon of peppercorns, 1/2 of a teaspoon of sesame seeds, and 1/2 of a teaspoon of cumin seeds. Okay, we are going to roast those as well. We're going to let these roast for just a few minutes. The garlic cloves first, and then we will put in the other spices. Okay, after the garlics have been in there for about 4 minutes, I'm going to add in the seeds. And you just want to leave this in here for a few minutes. You just want to bring out the oils of the spices. So when we blend them, you really get the flavor of all the spices. Okay, now the spices are roasted. I'm going to pull them aside and let them cool so I can peel the garlic. Okay, I already took out the chicken. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shred it with 2 forks as it's still a little bit hot. Shredding it. And I have the spices ready. We're going to fix that up. Okay, we're going to set this aside. Now, I'm going to move the blender over. Now, what I have here is what we're going to use to make the mole sauce. This is for convenience. This is just a quick way for when you're craving mole enchiladas or chicken mole or something, you can make it real quick. I use this jar that's already prepared, that you don't have to add anything to it, but I like to add stuff to it to make it richer. I take the whole jar of the mole sauce, I take a 1/4 cup of tahini, and this is sesame paste, okay? Instead of peanut butter, I use the tahini. And then I take my spices that I roasted, and we're gonna add a little bit of salt, some chicken bouillon, and we're gonna put it all in the blender. We're gonna put the spices, the chicken bouillon, some sugar, and the salt. And I'm gonna take the whole jar of the mole. It's kind of thick, so we have to dilute it. It's like thick paste. We have to puree it into a sauce. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like in the jar. Then we're gonna take some of the tahini, about a 1/4 cup. That's all you need. And I'm gonna put a glass, this smaller glass worth of chicken broth, okay? So the same size, that's the same amount that we're gonna add to the sauce. We're gonna add some more, but we're gonna start off with that, okay? And then we're just gonna puree it in the blender. Okay, I can see that it's still very, very thick. So we're gonna add another glass of broth. Okay, I'm gonna add the 3rd glass, and that should do it. I'm gonna let it run for a few minutes to make sure everything is pureed and broken down, the spices and everything. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the skillet. It's a hot skillet. We're gonna put about a teaspoon of oil, not too much, and we're gonna add in the mole sauce. And we're just gonna reduce it for a few minutes, okay? Just gonna cook it over the heat and let it reduce for a little bit. Okay, I brought this up to a simmer, and as you can see, it's really thickened up a lot. And I don't like it that thick, so I'm gonna reduce it some more with some more, about another cup of chicken broth. And I like to make the sauce separate. I am going to put some for the chicken, but I like to keep it separate, so in case I want to fix something else for another meal, I can use it. And it's ready to go. Brought it back up to a simmer. And now it seems just right. Okay, I'm going to show you how the consistency of this. See? So now I'm going to move you back around and we're going to prepare the chicken. I'm going to turn the fire on. Okay, now we're going to get the tortillas ready. What I did is I sprinkled some oil on this flat little skillet that I use to warm up tortillas. And we're going to fry the tortillas just a little bit, just to where they're pliable. You can roll them into enchiladas. I like to put them on top of the plate with a napkin so that it can drain some of that oil off. Put them on a plate, and I'm going to move you all Okay, guys, this is our shredded chicken. This is our mole sauce. What I like to do is I like to put a little tiny bit of the mole sauce into the chicken, okay? Not a whole bunch, not to where it's swimming in it. Just enough to moisten the chicken just a little bit, just to where it gives it the mole taste. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our tortillas, and I take some of the chicken, put it in the middle or on the end, and just roll them up. Okay, it's a little messy. Okay, then the last one. Sometimes I tend to put too much. Okay, and there's your enchiladas. Now what I do is I take the spoon and I just put some on top. Just like that. Clean up the plate so my plate looks good. Then I take a little bit of the sesame seeds that I had and I sprinkle them on top. And a little bit of queso fresco. If you want it. If you don't like it, don't put it in. And that's my version of chicken mole enchiladas. This is the fast version of mole, okay? Quick and convenient. They smell so delicious. I hope you give them a try, guys. Okay, that's going to conclude the video for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channels and visit us on Facebook at Virtual Kitchen with Laura. Thank you, guys. Talk to y'all later. Bye.